Hello, everyone. And as much as I would like to say I put Kirby down on this desk brigade because the product I'm about to review sucks, get it? Because Kirby, well, they don't suck. In fact, HiFiman has sort of fixed their I don't want to say the S word because we're too early in the video. It's not perfect. Obviously, obviously HiFiman isn't perfect. But we're getting so much better now that it's like, and it's first and foremost a sound thing. We still could discuss the wire and how it's like, all right, it's a $500 headphone. They're going to give you a kind of cheap wire, but look, it's a real wire. It's a wire. It's not like a fucking vacuum tube that has wires in it. It's a real wire. It's got a nice long split. And these are $500. Start with that. They're on APOS for $500. And they're the Ananda Nano because they use the nano technology on the drivers to make them very thin, like they did with all the other ones. And that's now finally trickling down. It's like Mercedes with the S-Class. You know anything about the S-Class Mercedes? Mercedes always rolls out these high-end features on their S-Class for the next year. You know, self-driving and fucking radar-guided cruise control. All that shit starts up at the top, at the Sasvaras. And then eventually, in 5-6 years, it's like, yeah, you know, self-driving is in the C-Class now. So that's what HiFiman's finally doing. And it's improved their entire line. I have the Aria Organics. They're going to come up. I'm actually probably going to do them after I do this review. They'll just be released apart. So if you want to see that one, it's on Patreon. Patreon and Subscribestar. See reviews early. Participate in yard sales. And get lossless sound demos. The sound demos have disappeared from YouTube, for those of you who don't know. Because YouTube has people throwing lawyers at them. It's a whole thing. Anyway, if you want to hear new sound demos, they are on Patreon and Subscribestar. Anyway, these, which I'm not wearing them. I'm just putting them over there because I'm going to swap wires because I'm going to use my Magia cable, which is a balanced cable because I want to do balanced. I feel like these deserve more than they're getting. I feel like the drivers in these are better than they should be. And by the way, there's like a green tint to them. I'm not sure if that's the driver or something behind it. But they're using the same headband as like Sundara, which is fine, except when I open it as wide as it goes, because of the way they have this bent and how big these pads are, if I open this as wide as it goes, till we tension that, I still have to slide it. You can hear it sliding over my head. So it's like, I feel like this needs to be longer. Because it's kind of clampy, like it's like you're literally and that's it, and that's how it's going to sit in your head. It's not like it opens and rests; it never rests. And granted, I do have a bigger head than most. We'll get some of the negatives out of the way. I don't know where the boxes are; they're somewhere there, something. We already discussed the wire, which I'm going to now take off and show you. And so like, ooh, green and green. Why not green and red or red and blue? But then they do actually label it LNR, but very faintly. It's one of those like you could fix this in like 2 seconds. But I'm just happy that we have a wire that isn't complete horseshit. So thank you, HiFiman, for doing that. To wrap it up nicely, you got a 3.5 millimeter right angle, which... Thoughts on right angles in the comments, please. Because I understand this for like an IEM you're going portable with. But a full-size headphone you're not probably going portable with, for desk amps, it's just weird that it goes down. Right? I'm not hallucinating, right? I'm not the only person that feels this way. Like, keep the connectors straight on a desk. That's just my thoughts. Anyway, Magia cable, balanced, also available on APOS. Hopefully by the time this video comes out, because we're still ordering things. This is an older revision before the red and blue indicators were there. So I have to read letters like some sort of peasant. 3.5 millimeter dual entry, by the way. Thank you, HiFiman, for keeping it like that. I think they do that also on their the new Unveiled, which I did get to hear, by the way, in Munich. I wasn't allowed to talk about it. In fact, I wasn't even allowed to talk about it when I was at Munich. You were just supposed to be like, oh, did you stay for the thing? Oh yeah, you're at the Munich show. Did you hear the thing that doesn't exist? And then that was like the joke. But yeah, Unveiled is fucking nutty. And I will be getting a set because everyone's favorite patron, Ali, was like, hey, I'm buying it. Have it sent to you first. And I'm like, God damn it. So these comfort-wise, clamps a little bit. It's not that the clamp is tight. This is a nice linear pull, but it literally hits max to go on my head. So if you have a wide head, that's going to be annoying for you. The pads themselves pretty much standard HiFiman fare. Very thick, but too stiff. So it's a combination of, usually when a pad is soft, you want like a light clamp so it doesn't do it. But if a pad is stiff, you want a hard clamp. This is a hard clamp and a stiff pad, and yet it still doesn't seem to work right. So, I mean, you're going to be fine with it. I'm giving this thing a lot of leeway because it's only $500. Only $500. Oh, God, it hurts to say that. But for the sound you're getting out of it, it might be worth some of the fucking inconvenience. So let's put that on. We've got that on. We've got this on flame levels of gain, not electric lightning bolt. I think that's the highest. But what are the other ones? Hold on. There's There's apparently IEMs that are green, and then a water droplet, because water, obviously, electricity mixed perfectly. Then fire, and then lightning. So we'll go up in all the different levels of gain. And I'll go 75, and we'll see. So IEM, no. Water, not decent. Get a little, Journey's playing. We got Open Arms. All right, there you go. Fire is fire. And we're screaming on lightning bolt. Holy crap. Okay, we're going to go back to fire. Fire seems like a good level. So from now on, every time I talk about how hard is a headphone to drive, I'm going to mention it's either water, fire, or lightning. Because iFi decides that's what it is. Oh, fuck. All right, they need to calm down with that volume. It went up way too fast. All right, out of Journey. White Zombie. Knuckle Duster. Which just changed because it was 5 seconds long. Inception, Waiting for a Train. Bass, low. Hans Zimmer. I changed off of this. It's big. It's organs. And I feel it. And I feel it walking through it. It's just... If you own an old Ananda, which I happen to do. In fact, it's right there. Let's go get it. Can I do this with the head cam attached? That's going to be a stretch, literally. Let's go get the Ananda. All right, we good? We good? Look at that. I am fully prepared. Purple light. And by the way, we will be getting around. If I haven't already released it, I'm going to get the review of the DayZ DAC. All right, well, the SD card had an issue, so hopefully you caught me getting those off the shelf. However, we may end again, and I'll have to go format a card and do the whole thing. So we're going to keep the headphones off for a second. But during the intermission, I spent the time a little bit with the Ananda to compare against the Ananda Nano. And they are wholly different headphones. Like if someone asks me, hey, Zeos, is it worth upgrading? Because I already have the Anandas. Very rarely will I say, yeah, it's 100% worth it, because it's 100% worth it. There's a completely different sound here. You could own both of these if you want. This is a warmer sound, but I feel like that's just because I think the treble is just not as good. Like this is and this is using, these are Zirconi. Actually, you know what? These were the pads that improved it. Let's swap them. Yeah, let's do that. Did I just break all the clips on that? I hope not. The clip system is also, I don't like the way the pads go, but they're such weird headphones. But yeah, there you can see the memory foam in this pair. You can see the different layers of memory foam. Zirconi don't fuck around. They are all about that, like, get it just right. Anyway, so yeah, Ananda Nano versus original Ananda. Actually, this is 2021 Ananda, I think. Is a wholly different fucking animal. The clarity and lightness and openness of the new one is just leagues better. Leagues. And this was like, I think this was in the $700 range when I first reviewed it. And I'm probably just going to sell it in the yard sale. In fact, well, here's spoiler alerts. The other ones, the Ari Organic are so good. I'll probably sell both of these in the yard sale. But this one for sure, in a competition, it is hands down winning with the fucking Nano. They did not just do like a little baby bit of change. It is a huge, massive mother of change. Let's see if these just swap right out. I haven't tested this, so this is probably going to be a shit show, but I don't think you come to Z Reviews because you want a clean, organized, fully prepared written review where everyone doesn't say fuck all the goddamn time. Oh, I hate. Did I ever mention how much I hate just pads with clips? It just feels like all the clips are going to break at all the times ever. But yeah, these are the perforated sheep. This might be pleather. I'm not sure. But I want to know if this is going to help with A, comfort, and B, just there's this little bit of lack I would find in like the warmth area. So these HiFiman, they've got so much potential to be like just world enders for everything. But the pads are always like not memory foam and meh. And the wires are always like barely passable for the cost. So, I mean, I've got, just to say I wasn't fair, I put the $1,000 effect audio cable with adapters on that to make sure that you understand. And I'm using 2 SMSL amps that, well, one of you shouldn't exist, because why are there 2 and you're the same? Although I will say these required 10% more power on that one than these require. So let's give this a first listen. This is a live exclusive. I'm trying to get all the clips popped in so we don't have any air leaks. So people aren't like, well, Zeos, there was probably air leaking, and that's why you had a higher base shelf floor, blah, 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 blah. Here we go. Without playing anything, immediate comfort. Betterment. Betterment. Make your betterment better. Whoa. Actually might increase the volume. Like the actual volume might have gone up, which is saying something because that was still 10% louder with those pads. I should put those pads on that and then we'll have a real test. But shut up. Oh yeah, buy these fucking headphones. Like I was going to tell you to buy these headphones regardless, but I mean, if Isaac Hayes as Chef Goodlove from South Park, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut, this shaker, just this. The clarity of that. And now with the Dakoni pads doing whatever the Dakoni pads are doing, which I haven't had enough moments to assess it, but the camera hasn't died yet. Has the camera died? Let me use my reflectivity options to check. Yeah, because I don't run an app to like check. As long as the screen is like red flashy light, I'm good. I'm qualified to you. All comes down to you. Oh, fuck. A, everyone misses Isaac Hayes. B, Goodlove is amazing. C, fuck these headphones, man. Because right now, I look at the wall and I'm looking at like, all right, $500 planars. That's a space. That's Para. That's Venus. We've got the, where are they? The new Sivga over there. Not Simba. They're named after the lion. Oh, fuck. What else we got? There's Paras over there. $500 headphones. Oh, $500 planars specifically. I mean, we got a fuckload of SJY stuff. I feel like SJY, you are buying an SJY because you're supporting a small creator who's starting out. Right? If you want to avoid the big business that is HiFiman, you'd get like an SJY. But as far as like driver tech goes on this particular model setup, the audio, there it is. There's the Wraith. The audio Wraith was interesting. I'd still take these probably. I'm listening to the Evil Dead soundtrack. Audiophile classic, Evil Dead. Not the shower curtain is the track. And it's just very, very, very quiet cymbals and noises. And the placement and the air around everything and how it's like, it's just fine and delicate. That's what this does. The Nano, it makes perfect sense that if you make your driver super thin, it would be very good at fine detail. And that's what this does. It's amazing at fine detail. Fucking Rocky theme. Oh my god, the energy with the fucking drums because you're like between the drummers. It's so... These are the best HiFiman entry-level headphone that's ever existed by a large margin. granted, I did just swap pad. I already love them. I was going to give them the fucking thumbs up, but you increase the comfort just enough with these, and then I think they're. I want to try to. It's too early to say what they're doing, and I should have done this weeks ago before I filmed the review. But that's not how we work here. I was already going to give these. All you come here for is a thumbs up or thumbs down. These were already getting a thumbs up. The fact that I can now add, balance cables to it, end pads, and it's like, yes, it's all better. It's always better. It's better and better and better. I even like the silver. I mean, it beats the band out of that really shitty head. As much as I'm like, about this headband being too short, it beats the living crap out of that thick one they put on. I think they put it on the Zeospantera Unveiled, and I'm going to puke. I just want to keep wearing them. Let's go to something more interesting as far as powering them. How hot is this getting? Probably way too hot. Let me move this off. Excuse me. Excuse me. I need to just gently put this down. Hold on. So that's the gold planar amp adapter coming off the back of the Black Ice FX10H, which is their actual headphone amp. But this one is particularly wired with 14 watts out of the front channel and no resistor. So you can get... Actually, there's usually a hum or a buzz and really easy to drive stuff. This is much less. There's just a sense that it's like a hum. Let me hit play. That actually works. That works direct. That's interesting. You plug it in here. I know the camera can hear perfectly because it's got stereo mics on either side. So I'm going to get a copyright strike if I just keep playing that song, but I just want to keep playing that song. I just want Rocky theme to just give me chills. So now that I've got it running off of a tube with these pads, TJ and the Shondells is not it. Might get a little bit too sharp on a tube, actually. I'm not bothered by the treble ever on anything here. But go over there, and it's just like, you know what? Tubes and planars are not always the best. This should fix a lot of that, because it is literally the load is here and not the headphone. But I'm noticing like an uptick on the treble, like 4 dB. Tom Petty. Gallows Pole. God, the echo. Like, one of the things, and I'll say this every time I do a review and I notice it, one of the things I listen for, not the frequency response, not the transient response. I listen for when a song is happening in a space. Gallows Pole from Led Zeppelin sounds like, let's see if I could do this. Sounds like this. And it's just a lot of sound there out of that speaker. I'm just put out the speakers. But then it's like you hear the echo in the other speaker. You hear it in speaker or headphone, which I now have to make this not be on, or I'll get a copyright for sure. So hearing it, and it's just echoing to the right, and how big that space feels, how real that space feels, is something it's almost impossible to quantify with a measurement graph, which is another reason I don't like measurement graphs. Because I could hear, I've heard this song, it's Gallows Pole. Everyone's fucking heard Led Zeppelin. Gallows. If you haven't, go listen to Gallows Pole. I don't care if you're streaming it. But the natural feel of it, it's a feel thing. It's like ice cream in your mouth. What's the texture like? That's a 10. It doesn't feel like it's being faked. And that's the lamest fucking thing, is to put natural. But it feels natural. The soundstage feels like it belongs there. It doesn't feel like it's doing some sort of trickery to get it there. It's just a big open headphone. And when you play something big and open in a big open space, it's being recorded with microphones from the 70s where it's big and open. This is the 70s, right? I don't know actually when it was. Was it alive? What do you want from me? But Hangman. Oh, yeah. This is, Gallows. You know what? I'm putting Gallows Pole. I don't think it's in there. It's now in my new test thing for sound demos. Double check. Yep, I didn't have any Led Zeppelin. So now I have Led Zeppelin in there. And also Kodo Bird Island. There's enough driver here. All honesty, if you've been following HiFiman for well, fucking millennia, it feels like. Their HE1000, back when I started reviewing things, their HE1000 was like, oh my God, God tier, giant planar. And I had the HE1000 and the Edition X and all the other revisions of the HE1000 size thing. And for the longest time, all of them sounded the same. It was like, we have a giant driver, and you're always going to have the same giant driver. So how are you going to improve the giant driver? It's always going to be this giant imposing thing. You can only make little tweaks. Going to the Nano has been a big enough jump that I would say this $500 set beats everything that was this shape previous. But Aria Organics over there would have, honestly, might even beat Aria, previous revision Aria. I know the Aria Organics is going to just shit all over the original Aria, but this might be, like the whole line, these last two, the Aria Organic and the Ananda Nano, are just a league better. Just a full, like, lift it up, move it over, drop it down, all this other shit you can throw in the recycle bin. That's how good the Nano is. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a full. It's thumbs up, not fully up. It's like this up, because I am gonna recommend you swap wires on it. Not necessarily my cable. I don't care if you use the beautiful Maja cable. Go to Hard Audio. Go to fucking Periapt. I'm back to all cable manufacturers in the description, Zeos. Pimp everyone's shit. Viking Weave's got a page up now, finally. Just to get you a better wire. Not a better wire, but a more capable wire. Something that's balanced. You just want balance. You just want to fucking balance. Can I just go balance? Can I just go balance, please? Plug you back in over here. Oh, yeah. And I'm gonna pimp a little bit about Taconi pads. I didn't even think about this. When I pulled these off the wall, it was like spontaneous, like, oh shit, yeah, I do have the Ananda. I should probably bring it down for the review. I didn't want to do like a full pre-game listen, because then you lose your mind. Your brain falls out of your head. So having listened to both directly, and then having swapped pads, and knowing what the capabilities were with this pair of pads, and now this pair with this pair of pads, it's fucking night and day. It's absolutely absurd how good these have gotten. And having heard the Unveiled, spoilers for that, probably best headphone on earth. Like, I thought, and I was pretty fucking confident that Susvara, original Susvara, was pure luck. Pure luck. Because HiFiman has been sort of like juggling these balls of bad headphones for a while. And the fact that they brought out the Susvara, and it was like, oh my God, this is like significantly amazing. And then you have to have things like the tungsten come out of nowhere and sort of fight it. To then be like, all right, they're going to make a new version. I wasn't confident that they were going to be able to beat Susvara. Because again, I thought a lot of luck was involved. Apparently, there is some skill there. And that skill is now trickling down to this level of shit. And I think in 2-3 years, if they take the advice of their customer base, they upgrade their wires to something that's actually like this is $1,000 cable, but to build something similar to this, where it's just like nice wires and a twist, would wholly improve their entire line. And their pads, they are fucking married to this, like, I don't know, just fabric and then cheap feeling leather. Like, this is like just if they up their pads and up their wires and sorted out their little bit of like build issues and the comfort, fucking end game, everyone would just buy HiFiman. It would be the end of days. They just need to just like have the next paradigm shift, keep the sound the same, and just make it the luxury edition. Better pads, better wires, a box that's nicer. Charge another $150. Translate that $150 cost into the actual cost of swapping everything out, and it'll probably still make them money. Yes. In other words, Ananda Nano is a fucking yes. Now I'm going to go back to listening on this beautiful Maja cable, definitely not named after Miss Beiser herself. Beiser? Miss Beiser. Yoshi Horikawa. It feels like I'm in a 90s Sega video game. What the hell is this? Oh, Song for the Ruins from Rhythm of the Rainforest. It might actually be from a bunch of video games. I think that might be an open source song, because it's a various artist, Rhythm of the Rainforest. Song for the Ruins. Yeah, I could see Lara Croft running through things with this. Here, for those of you who can't hear it quite well enough, hold on. Yeah. 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 So yeah, this is it. This is it. This is the start of my coverage of new HiFiman shit, and it's pretty goddamn amazing. Now go home and or join the Patreon and subscribe. So you get to see these reviews early, like real early. Like if you click it and you're like, oh, why are there comments from 3 weeks ago and why are they not in stock? That's because $5 patrons get to see reviews early, participate in yard sales, get lossless sound demos, which I still have to do for these, and I'll do them with these pads because now that I've swapped it, I'm basically gonna put these pads on this and then put them in the yard sale. Just to take away my $1,000 cable. Thank you. You don't need that. I need that. You don't need that. Although it's just nice. It's not, doesn't sound any better, but it's nice. Yeah, I'll just those out of here. And yeah, $10 a month gets you in the private behind the scenes Telegram chat where you get to ask me questions directly. I will do a Q&A once a month on the $5 tier. So just post your comments in that when I ask it. And then the next month I'll answer it. But if you want to ask questions constantly because you're that guy, by all means, Patreon, $10 gets you in there. Which gives you access to the Lifetime Swap Meet channel where you can buy, sell, and trade gear. And I feel like it's the perfect time. Well, it's probably too late if you're seeing this and you're not a patron to go in there and try to sell your old HiFiman stuff. But if you have like 10 of them and you sell them and you make enough money to buy one of the new ones, that's 100% fucking worth it. Anyway, so yeah, I'm done. You're done. We're done. Wallpaper in the Horde. And I'll see you all when Chainsaw Man comes back. Left to right. Oh, God, stop it before I get